Hey, thanks for joining us live. I am in the town of Occidental. This is about 20 minutes away from Santa Rosa. 2 years ago today was the beginning of the Northern California wildfires in this region, in wine country, that were some of the most destructive fires in California history. Right now, this fire where we are, which started a couple hours ago, has been contained. The air crews have been already released, but we're seeing firefighters all around here doing what they call mopping, which means just getting rid of hot spots and getting rid of anything that can serve as fuel that can spread the fire. As you can hear, they're cutting trees, they're cutting any growth, anything that could be dangerous, and of course putting down hot spots. Down behind me, you can see the area, some of the area that burned. And Cal Fire's law enforcement or investigations are here, I guess, studying the area and trying to figure out what happened. It was stopped really fast. There's no risk or no danger that this fire will spread. But this is an indication of the efforts that Cal Fire have put in place. This is a moment, a time where they expect high winds could be very dangerous, potentially dangerous to spread fires in this area. 2 years ago, the conditions that spread the Tubbs fire, the Northern California wildfires in this area, which were multiple fires, were very similar to the conditions that we're experiencing tonight. The Cal Fire and the Occidental volunteer firefighters are both are working on stopping the spread of this fire. It's already been contained, stopped, basically. But what they were telling me is that this area is really close to the station where they were. It's an area that's still also pretty humid, so it's easier to stop this alert. It's easier to stop. But you can see the lines up here going on this side, and then the other line on the other side of this little hill up here. You can see the firefighters behind me. We're gonna go up at 5 or 6 on ABC 10 and give you more details about this. But just for those of you, I'm seeing the numbers grow, so those of you that are joining me now, we are in Occidental. This is about 20 minutes away from Santa Rosa. We're out in Sonoma County today because last night marks the beginning, the 2-year anniversary of the beginning of some of the most destructive wildfires that hit this area and that hit California. Right now, when we arrived here, what we learned is that this fire is contained. This fire has been stopped, and what firefighters are doing around here is they are mopping, which means they're stopping the fire from spreading. The air crews that were here have been released. I'm gonna show you, just turn around my phone and show you some of what has burned. This hill, all the side of this hill, you can see there, Cal Fire investigations are investigating. Of course, that's part of every wildfire, is knowing what started it. One thing I can say is today, besides covering the 2-year anniversary of the beginning of the wine country fires, we're also here covering the shutoffs, these massive shutoffs where millions of Californians are without power. The projected number was 800,000 customers, but of course customers means a household with more people. In the area where we are in Sonoma County, there's 66,000 people without power. The reason why people are without power is to prevent wildfires from starting. As we drove up here, Taylor and I, we saw so many power lines that were covered by tree branches. That's the kind of danger that at a time like this, where we're expecting high winds, that's the kind of thing that can start and spread a wildfire if live wire comes into contact with trees. So we are not seeing, one thing I can say is we're not seeing any power lines up here. We're not seeing that in the area that's burning, that power lines could have started this fire, but they are investigating, of course. I'm getting a phone call from Gonzalo, my manager, which I have to take because we might have to go live. Hey, Gonzalo. Okay, I'm gonna give you an update as I am on Facebook Live. We are in the town of Occidental. For those of us who are joining us live right now, we're in Occidental. This is 20 minutes away from Santa Rosa. I'm gonna turn the camera so you guys can see the firefighters that are working on mopping. Basically, that means mopping is stopping the fire from spreading. They're cutting trees. They're climbing up there to stop the hot spots. I talked to CAL FIRE. They said that the air crews have already been released, and also then ground crews are going to remain here. The Occidental town volunteer firefighters are working alongside CAL FIRE to stop the potential spread, but they've declared this that this area is already safe. You can see some of the area that burned, and then behind me you can see the investigators from CAL FIRE studying what could have happened, what could have started this fire. Stay tuned to ABC 10. I will leave the camera rolling so you can look around. You got that, Gonzalo? So we did an interview with CAL FIRE, and right now Taylor's getting B-roll. Tyler, sorry, not Taylor, Tyler. Yeah, we can send. Can I just send you the interview? Because I did the interview with Brian from CAL FIRE, and he explains everything. Yeah, we'll do that for sure. Okay, great, thanks. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, thanks. Do you want to go higher? See. Okay, great. Maybe ask him if he... Whoa.
You alright?
Oh, I think... Oh, somebody fell? Oh, no.
Rocks come down.
Oh, rocks?
Okay.
This is a pretty steep hill on the side of a hotel called the Occidental Lodge. We are in the town of Occidental. This is about 20 minutes west, I believe, from Santa Rosa. We are right now, we just talked to CAL FIRE. We're here because a fire was reported. Today is a dangerous day. Today, just like 2 years ago, to the day, we were in the middle of windy conditions, dry air, and the difference between today and 2 years ago, where one of the most destructive and deadliest fires in California history happened, or most destructive, the Northern California wildfires, where the Tubbs fire, you might remember we covered at ABC 10, that destroyed much of this area of Sonoma and Napa County. The difference between today and exactly 2 years ago is that today PG&E has decided to shut off power lines, taking into consideration the wind conditions and the dry air conditions. They've shut down, or they've shut off power, so that power lines that are touching branches, power lines that could be in contact with trees in this dry area, are not going to start fires. So that's the difference. Still, today we're here because a fire was started, but CAL FIRE was able to stop it. We're going to head down here, down this little hill, so they can continue working. CAL FIRE now is working with the volunteer firefighters from Occidental, from this town, to do what they call mopping. You can see a little bit of the fire down here, or what burned. As you can see, the ground is black over there, the side that burned. We are going to have a story for you at 5 and 6 p.m. on ABC 10. For those of you who are not in our Sacramento area, of course, you can watch all of our coverage on abc10.com, on YouTube, and on Facebook, and I'll stay here. Please send me questions for those of you that are watching. If you have any questions to ask CAL FIRE or ask me over here, please send them over. This is a lot of firefighters in this very small area that burned. They were able to stop the spread of this fire at between 1 and 2 acres, so just over an acre. That is extremely small, of course. Usually CAL FIRE doesn't report, from what I understand from conversations I had earlier with CAL FIRE is that they won't report anything on, say, like as an incident on Twitter if it's less than 10 acres burning. Here, CAL FIRE and the volunteer firefighters from the town of Occidental were able to stop the spread of the fire between 1 and 2 acres. I'm going to turn around so you can see. This is a hotel, by the way. This is the Occidental Lodge. It's a charming town. And right behind the hotel on this hill here, you can see one of the lines that stopped the fire there. And on the other side, you can't see it because the hotel is on the way. But up there, firefighters were doing what they call mopping. So once the air crews are gone, the air crews were helping them, guide them to tell them where it's burning. Once the air crews were gone, the firefighters on the ground from Occidental volunteer firefighters and from CAL FIRE remained doing what they call mopping. So basically stopping the fire from spreading. Right now, they don't know what caused the fire, but as some of you who were watching from before saw, there are CAL FIRE investigators at the scene right now looking at where the darkest spots are, which I assume is where the fire, I can only assume, is where the fire started. So I'll turn the camera around so you can see. It's behind the lodge. See this hill? And this area there, all of this dark area is, I guess, what was burning. So obviously we don't know what caused it. CAL FIRE is investigating. They can't tell what caused it. But there are firefighters in the scene. Another thing that they told me was that because they have upstaffed both CAL FIRE and the local agencies, Sonoma County added 20 engines and about 120 firefighters because they expect that conditions are extremely dangerous and fires can spread quickly. It's all preventive, just like PG&E right now has shut off power for half of California counties, is because conditions are very similar to what they were like 2 years ago when the Northern California devastating wildfires began. So there's a lot of crews now, they're leaving, they're packing up and taking off because the fire has been able to be contained, detained, stopped. I'm gonna go send the story to the station. Send me more questions if you have more questions. I'm gonna leave these engines behind too so that they can move, get out of the way. There could be more fires, or could be more places. What they said is that this place, this positioning is pretty lucky because there's stations that were very close. CAL FIRE was stationed super close to here, just minutes away. So they were able to respond in a very timely manner. There's also the hill where we are in this area, in this town, is pretty humid. It's still pretty moist. It's not too dry, so it's easier to wave CAL FIRE goodbye. They were able to respond pretty fast and stop the fire at between 1 and 2 acres. That doesn't mean that there can't be other fires burning. They said the conditions right now are really dangerous. So this is just, proof that for people who are frustrated with the situation right now of having lost power, for people who are perhaps, facing the resistance, the challenges that come with not having power for several days, the danger is real. We know that because it's 2 years ago today, this week, that this area was ravaged by wildfires, and the conditions are very similar. I'm gonna go ahead and end this live broadcast through Facebook, this Facebook Live, because we have to send our story for the news at 5 and 6. For those of you who are in Sacramento, stay tuned, send me your questions.